So today is September 30th, 2025, Truth and Reconciliation Day in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. I have walked uptown to see my friend William unveil his passion project. I see it from here, just through the shrubs.
So here's William Martin. Thank you, everybody. So this project came together. It was an idea in my head. I brought the indigenous groups in with this. The Waterloo Regional Police Service, which Geraldine, Vic were sitting behind me. This was 13 and a half weeks ago when we started this. A lot of meetings, a lot of emails, texting, phone calls. The indigenous community who allowed me to bring this to life, I couldn't have done it without them. The artist on this, remember me, is Judy Ross, who I'm thinking now she's going to be a famous artist in this area. The rest of it, I have something on there for missing Indigenous women. I have a symbol on there for the Indigenous veterans. The grandfather teachings on the back window. And the Waterloo Regional Police Service Indigenous team who really helped bring this to life. So Geraldine, you want to come up and say a few things?
Good afternoon. So my name is Geraldine. I'm the manager of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion for Waterloo Regional Police. And we were, thrilled when this idea came to Waterloo Regional Police. And while we were thrilled, we actually had a lot of apprehension, right? We understand the history of Indigenous people in Canada. We understand the work that has to go with anybody who looks at reconciliation as a journey. Like I said, while we were thrilled, there was a lot of conversations to say, should we do this? Should we, partner to do that? Because, it exposes us and exposes the truth of policing, and obviously it starts with that truth. And I'm glad that we did. We allowed ourselves to lead. We allowed ourselves to be led by Indigenous people in order to get to this creation. We're so grateful to the artist, Judy. Her heart and soul really came out, and the elements that William and Healing Seven Generations and other Indigenous community put into this, the thoughtfulness that was put into this cruiser, even down to the thought of, let's make it an auxiliary vehicle, let's call it a community cruiser. It's not a reconciliation cruiser because you don't magically all of a sudden put out a cruiser out there and you consider yourself reconciled. This is just an object, and this is just a token if that's all the police are about. But I'm so honored to work for a police service where we work with Indigenous communities to look at youth diversion programs. We work with Indigenous communities to assist in transitional housing. So, without the work behind it, this cruiser means nothing. And anybody who sees it, we're not calling it a reconciliation cruiser. It's not a truth and reconciliation cruiser. It's a community cruiser, right? It's part of the journey for where we need to get to. There is no defined path to say we're going to be done in 2 years, 4 years. We're going to allow ourselves to be led by the will of the Indigenous people and help us to really understand what reconciliation is. Like I said, it starts with the truth, and let this, anytime you see this vehicle throughout the community, the region, everyone understand that we are truth seekers first and foremost, and we need to face that truth as reality. So thank you.
And if you have any questions on some of the symbols and what it means on the cruiser, we're here till 4 o'clock, and yeah, enjoy and take pictures. I'm proud of it. Vic, you want to say a few things?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. For those of you who were able to catch the Healing of the Sun Generation walk earlier this morning, and if you want to see it again, we'll be at in Cambridge this evening. But even just to be here in this moment, I think that really talks and speaks to what the day is about, to reflect about reconciliation, what it means to us here as a community, but what it means to you individually. And in the work that we do at WRPS regarding reconciliation, one thing we've really come to understand is that there is no one way to reconcile. It's ongoing. And I know this was kind of spoken to earlier, but I think the journey is such, it can be such a daunting process. If you're looking at it for the first time this year, or if you've understood what Orange Jersey means in the past, reconciliation isn't supposed to be accomplished in a matter of 6 months or a matter of a year. It's an ongoing process and requires a lot of relationship building. And this cruiser is an example of the relationships that have really strengthened with WRPS as well as the community. And I couldn't be more proud to work alongside this community with community members like William and so many more. And I know that we couldn't have done this without the support of other members in the community who maybe aren't standing right here in this moment, but together we can accomplish a lot, and that's what it's all about. So thank you.
So this morning, we actually started the day at sunrise with 7:19. We had a flag raising ceremony at headquarters. You know, it's really important that we mark the day in such a good way. And, you know, I'm proud to have another one of our constables here. I'll bring up our two constables, just so you all can see. We have like so many, you know, supporters, but we have two constables here. So we have Constable Cynthia Martin and we have Constable Shelley Kahn. And, you know, specifically, you know, I'll speak about Shelley and, you know, speak about myself and even Vic, not indigenous. So this for us is learning, right? And learning and teaching and just absorbing all we can. So, you know, that's so significant as we align our cultures to the indigenous culture. I also want to bring up Constable Martin, who led us in a smudging ceremony with Mike Duke from White Owl. And again, to start the day, you know, refreshed and with open hearts, open mind, and to lead the service like that it just set the tone. So no matter what happened, the skies could have opened up and rained. It didn't matter because we started in such a good way this morning. So I'm just going to bring up Constable Martin.
Hello everyone. Wasn't expecting to have a speech, so that's okay. Like Geraldine was saying, I'm a member of Waterloo Regional Police Service, have been for almost 24 years. Prior to that, I worked for the RCMP with Officer Duke over here. And this morning we opened up the day at the sunrise, watching the sun come over the horizon in remembrance and moving. And we're looking at this cruiser here today. Not everyone appreciates having Indigenous artwork on the police cruiser, and that's okay, because everyone can be where they are, and this is a journey. 9 years ago, we did a canoe trip. There was over 300 members of the community there that included the justice system in a reconciliation leading the way event, where we had the justice system there, including Crown attorneys and probation and parole, the police service, the various police services, because we need to open up dialogue, and we need to remember, as we see, remember me, we need to remember people's journeys. We need to remember that residential schools that have impacted so many people in this community, and that includes you, remember the past before we move forward. So I appreciate you all being here today. It's something that we need to remember, that there are a lot of people with a lot of stories, and we're each individuals, and each of us respond differently to different things that have happened. And Judy Mack has come a long way in this beautiful grandfather teaching in the back of the cruiser there that says love, respect, bravery, truth, honesty, humility, wisdom. We all need to walk in a good way, listen to other people's experiences, respect that they have different beliefs, and do things in a good way. And as Geraldine said, everyone is on a learning journey, everyone, and we need to learn to work together and move forward. So, bless you.
I guess we're going live here in some social media feeds. I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone. My name is Michael Duke. Duke is the name that I found through adoption. My mother was incarcerated at the Grandview Training School down in Galt, and I was adopted into a non-native family. And I found my way to my family through a process of always knowing that I'm native, growing up in Kitchener and Waterloo, and all the shenanigans that a young man can get into, running away from cars like this to driving in one, and in a 32-year career with the RCMP, and now I have the opportunity to work at White Owl Native Ancestry Association, and in my work I meet all kinds of people, and I welcome uncomfortable conversations about truth and reconciliation. For a long time, my relations have not had a voice or an opportunity to say the truth. Everyone here has heard it. What I'd like to do at this point is to understand and share with you that my ancestors welcomed you to this country, your ancestors, and that we all came to an agreement in a peace and friendship treaty that we could live together. And we know that that really didn't happen. A lot of bad stuff happened. But we're here today to talk about it. So I encourage you to have those uncomfortable conversations with your circle, with your friends, to recognize that every day we have an opportunity to reach out, to humanize one another, and recognize, yes, your pathway to today and our pathway to today brought us here for a purpose. And if I could take a moment to congratulate you, to recognize you for coming here, to supporting this day, I want to say Chimagwech. Thank you.
Also want to say thank you to Doug, who's been at this since this morning, and yeah, we still got this evening to do. So we're going to open up Cruiser. You want to take pictures? Thank you for coming out here. I really appreciate this.